Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome back to your latest Chelsea news. It's been a busy day. It's been an absolute busy day, and I've been a busy bee. If you've missed that earlier on, a couple of streams that's going on at the moment on my channel, check it out. Earlier on, I had Ishan on the channel, and after that, I had Alexis Kafka's two streams, which I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy. So make sure you check out those two pieces of content. And now we're here bringing you the latest since those streams, what has dropped in terms of Chelsea news. And a lot is heating up in regards to Roberto De Zerbi. Let's check this out. We start from Fraser Fletcher. He goes by saying, I understand Roberto De Zerbi has made it clear to the Chelsea hierarchy he would like to take the reins at Stamford Bridge. He's also very keen to work with the squad and believes he will bring Champions League football. Come on, look, I've said it all along. When the shortlist dropped, I was so underwhelmed. I was like, well, what is this? And that's what I was very worried when Poch got sacked, that who are we going to line up in the likes of McKenna and Maresca and Thomas Frank. Those names just simply did not do it for me. And I was hoping that Roberto De Zerbi was soon going to materialize. And thankfully he has, and the name has come about. And now a lot of people are saying that perhaps he was always the manager that was going to replace Pochettino, because it all kind of seemed like the news when Roberto De Zerbi parted ways with Brighton. And days later, we also parted ways with Pochettino. And a lot of people are like, I think the initial shortlist was a bit of a smokescreen situation. So look, for me, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like these owners, since they've come in, all they've made is mistakes in terms of managerial decisions. And in order to start rectifying the situation, in order to back a particular manager wholeheartedly, I think this guy is it. For me, Roberto De Zerbi is someone who's got a fantastic, a phenomenal ideology, a philosophy of how to play football. And I think with the squad that we have, which will be so suited for him, and then if we can add a few more acquisitions to help him achieve what he's wanting to achieve with Chelsea Football Club, which is Champions League football next season, I think this is the guy that we need to now back. This is the guy where I feel like the owners, please, it's time to zip up and completely trust Roberto De Zerbi, because I truly feel this is it. We've now got a manager that we can honestly back, and we shouldn't hold back from here on in. So, and there's news about Pep Guardiola potentially leaving at the end of next season. So if we can have a manager that is up and running and that is well set up to launch once Pep Guardiola is gone, I think this is it, man. Roberto De Zerbi, for me, gives me the most confidence that he will take back Chelsea to the top again. One club insider has said that Roberto De Zerbi is the favorite, though nothing is finalized. Look, we've seen earlier on today, the shortlist is now confirmed, unless there's some late dramas. The shortlist is now confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. And the shortlist goes something like this: Roberto De Zerbi, Kieran McKenna, Enzo Maresca, and Thomas Frank. And when you look at that shortlist, you'd think, come on, Roberto De Zerbi has to win this outright. He's got Premier League experience, he's got the charisma, he's got the philosophy, and the compensation for Brighton is very minimal, 5 million. I think for some of those other managers, the compensation is a little bit higher than 5 million. Everything points towards this. And people have categorically come out and said, journalists have categorically come out and said, and we're going to display this, that Ruben Amorim is not in the shortlist. So he was the other outsider that was potentially in the race. And, there's been news that our owners also like Ruben Amorim. Our board of directors also like Ruben Amorim. The links with Ruben Amorim go quite far. As I said, the last stream against Alexis Kafka's, do check that out, because you guys know Alex is a big fan of Ruben Amorim, and he had a lot to say about our links with Ruben Amorim and what went down with Liverpool, what went down with West Ham. You don't want to miss out on that. Do check that out. But Ruben Amorim is not part of the shortlist at the moment. Roberto De Zerbi wants to prove himself that he's the right fit for Chelsea. I love it. I love it. Finally, Roberto De Zerbi is going to get a team which, from a status point of view, is one of the top clubs. He's managed Shakhtar Donetsk, he's managed Sassuolo, he's managed Brighton, and he was destined to get a big team. And finally, he's now, hopefully, he gets the Chelsea job. And I love it. I love how he wants to challenge himself. And this is the thing about Roberto De Zerbi. This guy, even though he's been in teams that are in lower, sort of lower in the league, this guy is a proper winner, man. He wants to win. All he wants to do is win. And I feel like him coming to Chelsea Football Club, I completely believe this. He would want to prove himself. And this is it. This is your opportunity to show the rest of the footballing world what a talented manager is. There's so many people out there. We've heard Pep Guardiola, the way he talks about Roberto De Zerbi, saying one of the best build-ups in the country. It's coming from Roberto De Zerbi's Brighton. It's got high praise on Roberto De Zerbi. We've seen Thiago Silva recently in one of his videos where he's trying to do some managerial work, and he's got Roberto De Zerbi's book. And we've seen many other pundits, ex-players, Kevin Prince Boateng in Rio Ferdinand's channel. We all seen that video, how highly he talks about Roberto De Zerbi. So this is it. This is Roberto De Zerbi's big chance to showcase what he's all about. Roberto De Zerbi has a cheap clause. It's now less than 10 million euros. Let's see what happens with manager Domino. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano. PYS tweeted that out. And look, Mr. Fabrizio Romano there with a thumbs up. They know, Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein, they know that potentially it is Roberto De Zerbi who's going to be the next Chelsea manager. And, these are all briefings. They're just waiting from the club. When is the right time to drop the announcement? You can see Secret Scout as well. These people, they have an inkling. They have an inkling that it is potentially going to be Roberto De Zerbi. And honestly, I love it. A lot of people have been saying, Miz, is this the moment? Is this the same situation as Matisse with Poch and Roberto De Zerbi with Miz? Look, for me, I think this guy is the right manager. And for me, this is the time we need to be patient. We can't be chopping and changing anymore. Yes, Champions League is the target next season, 100%. But if we come 5th or 6th, marginally, we shouldn't be looking at sacking this manager. We should be building on him, because I feel like this right now, if we get this guy, we have finally struck a manager that is worthwhile backing. So unless we drastically fail next season under Roberto De Zerbi, then I don't want any more chopping and changing once De Zerbi is here. De Zerbi is available for around 5 million compensation coming from Ben Jacobs. And this is probably another reason why we are looking to get someone like Roberto De Zerbi. And I think the reason why they want to keep this as hush-hush as possible, because obviously the history that Chelsea Football Club have with Brighton, we've all said it. It's almost as if we want to be Brighton. It's almost as if why didn't the owners just buy Brighton? We seem to get everyone from Brighton. We've got their backroom staff members. We've got some of their players. So look, hopefully this is probably the last transaction. I'm not going to hold my breath to it. I'm pretty sure we're going to go back and buy some of their players as well down the track. But I understand why they wanted to initially keep it as a hush-hush thing, because maybe the fan base would have been in uproar that not again with Brighton. But look, that aside, he is a top manager, and I'm glad that we're going from. Ruben Amorim is not on the shortlist, ladies and gentlemen, and Sporting also lost earlier today against Porto in the Portuguese Cup final. Look, he's a good manager. There's no two ways about that. He's a winner. He's won stuff with Sporting. Notable stuff as well. But the matches I've seen, a handful of matches, I've not seen heaps, but I've watched, at least 5 or 6 matches of Ruben Amorim. I have to be honest, I've not been impressed. I've been more impressed with Gyökeres. So, I thought if we get Ruben Amorim, then we probably get someone like Gyökeres up front as a striker. I'm glad. To be honest, personally, I'm glad that he's not in the shortlist. You let me know. What you think about Ruben Amorim, ladies and gentlemen. Maresca and De Zerbi are the top two candidates, whilst the club hierarchy favor Maresca. Baghdad Eghbali has been struck by De Zerbi's personality. This is, I'm not really sure about this, man. Miguel Delaney. Baghdad Eghbali is struck by De Zerbi's personality. If anything, De Zerbi's personality is totally opposite to what Baghdad Eghbali kind of gives the vibe as to what type of manager he's looking for. You think all the managers that he's parting ways with, it's probably because that he's not getting along, they're not yes people. And then De Zerbi, by no means is a yes person. He will speak his mind. I don't know what to believe, but I don't know whether Eghbali is so fond of De Zerbi. If anything, I think the hierarchy might be, favoring towards De Zerbi, especially Paul Winstanley. So to see that hierarchy favors Maresca, I'm not really sure about the hierarchy part. I think it's more about Joe Shields. Joe Shields worked with Maresca back in Manchester City. Obviously, Cole Palmer worked with Maresca as well back in Manchester City in the youth division. To say that hierarchy favors Maresca, yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think more hierarchy favors De Zerbi. And yeah, definitely Baghdad Eghbali, liking De Zerbi's personality. We'll see. We'll see what happens down the track. We will learn a lot. We will learn a lot of what the owners are all about and how they really get along if they do hire Roberto De Zerbi, because I'm telling you this much, Roberto De Zerbi is a charismatic character and he's not going to hold back in the press conference. He will say his mind. Whether he can keep in line with what Chelsea believe, that's going to be something to look out for. Kieran McKenna is greatly admired by Chelsea, but there are some concerns over whether he is quite ready to make this leap, given the greater pressure of one of the Premier League's biggest clubs. I love it, man. I was getting worried that this guy was probably going to be the manager for Chelsea Football Club, from Ipswich to all the way to Chelsea. Like, relax yourself. Go from Ipswich to something in between, and then maybe you can look for a bigger job. He's still linked with Man United. I just thought that he was probably the most ideal personality that matches our owners, desires in regards to which type of manager they want in. But I'm glad that at the end of the day, common sense have prevailed that he's not the right fit. So absolutely happy with that. Man United have held discussions with representative Thomas Frank and Mauricio Pochettino. Mauricio Pochettino getting linked with Man United. Do you know what? Man United might actually be a fairly good team for him, because Man United probably might want to give him all that power, have a bit of say in the transfer market. And maybe not, who knows? Because obviously now it seems like, as I keep saying, there's a fetish that clubs want to have a structure where sporting directors and owners, they are the ones who make the decisions predominantly, and the manager is really a head coach. Just develop the players, coach the players, and leave the rest for us. We'll understand what you're trying to do, and we're going to try and scout the players that's suited to play your football. And we don't need to burden the manager to get involved in such things. So there is a push for that type of setup, it seems like, in the modern football era that we live in right now. Can Pochettino, sort of evolve as well? Those days of when Poch was managing Southampton and Spurs, those days are over. Now you're going to have to, feels like you're going to have to come align yourself with how ownerships want their clubs to be managed. Thomas Frank is one of those. I don't think he has a huge say in Brentford. He gets along with it. He knows, he understands what Brentford's all about. And this is probably why he's linked with almost every job out there. But for some reason, he never gets the job. So I think he's, as Alexis said in the previous stream that I had earlier on today, he's a filler. And all he does is fills up the shortlist. So that's that. Now, finally, ladies and gentlemen, this is the state of play at the moment. Managerial update from Miguel Delaney. De Zerbi, Eghbali struck by his personality. Let's see, man. Let's see. Maresca club hierarchy's choice. McKenna concerns over whether he's ready for the step up. And Thomas Frank, third favorite by some distance. Let's see if there's any other latest news before we wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. Eden Hazard saying a little bit of comments as well. He's saying, a bit sad to be fair. Poch, I think he did a great job. People want Chelsea to be top four, but it was a season of transition. De Zerbi next manager, maybe, but I also have my friend in Como Wings talking about Cesc Fabregas. So Thank you, Mr. Eden Hazard, for that. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of everything that is latest at the moment in Chelsea news. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, comment, and let me know how you feel about it. And also, ladies and gentlemen, go to the playback channel now. Feroz and I that we're running Football TV. The link is in the community page. We will have a live stream over there at 10:30 p.m. UK time today, literally in about a few minutes time. And hope to see all you guys there. And potentially we're going to bring some of the people from the live chat into the channel and see what you guys have to say about the whole managerial situation as well. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.